What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project, the Ford GT40, the one, I'm not going to lie, I was most excited about for the Ford DLC. This one is absolutely awesome. The only thing I don't like is the rear clamshell doesn't open. I'm clicking away. Sadly, it doesn't open, but we can still get in and look at the engine from back here. So if we just nip in, we can see that ours is missing absolutely everything, and this is a good looking engine, so I can't wait for you all to see this one a little bit later on. Let's talk a bit more about this. It is obviously the 1965 Ford GT40. It's got 285,000 kilometers on it. We got it from the auction house. It's in very bad condition, but that's how we like it at the beginning. We like to start with a bad project. Did I get a good deal? I did, but only just, but I'll take it. 19,503 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 19,684, making a cheeky little profit of 181. The engine in this one is the small block 289M. Beautiful, beautiful looking engine, and I'll let you into a little secret. It doesn't sound half bad either. It's got 335 factory horsepower. We will be increasing that one with as many performance parts as we can possibly squeeze on this little engine to see what we can get out of the beautiful Ford GT40. Now, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the livery. The livery that's going on this one is made by French Toast, but it was originally made by a YouTube channel, a French YouTube channel called Benjamin Workshop, who built this GT40, not this exact GT40, but a GT40 from scratch on his channel. It is some beautiful work. He's a French YouTuber. You should definitely go check him out. I will try and include a link in the description below so you can go over and see that beautiful build of the GT40 that we're trying to replicate a little bit today. His does have a different engine in it. This was the idea from French Toast he wanted me to do to celebrate his birthday with him. He didn't want me to do it. I offered to do something to celebrate his birthday, and this is what his suggestion was. So this is what we're going to do. Let's crack on with it. Let's get it started. Let's get it over to the car wash and get this GT40 all cleaned up. Here we are then in the car wash with the GT40. Let's get it clean, get all that dust and grime off of there. See what colour we've got on this Ford as it stands at the moment. A silver with white racing stripes. Still a very nice looking design on this beautiful GT40, but not what we are going with today. So let's get the interior done. Let's get it back on the lifter. Let's get that little small block engine ripped out of there and start tearing everything else down. Let's get underneath and check for the oil pan on the GT40. There is no oil pan. It is missing. But let's get in and see what we've got anyway. We know it's rear-wheel drive coming off of that mid-mounted engine. So let's get started. Let's get these rear wheels and this rear drive shafts out and ready to go. There we go. The rear wheels and the rear drive shafts off. We are missing a starter, so we're going to add that to the shopping list right now so that we don't forget it, and then rip this big old gearbox out of here. Out you come. Nice and easy. I only had the one rusty bolt so far on one of the wheels. Let's get it down on the ground though. Let's go and grab this engine crane and move it over to the lifter. And as we can't open the clamshell, should we just take it off now? Let's just get it off now. There we go. Out with that clamshell, and let's get the engine pulled out of there. There we go. Nice and easy. That is what we like. Let's see what we have going on inside this little engine bay then. Well, there's a bit going on. A lot of it seems to be missing. We've obviously got the missing exhaust up here. Missing battery, 2 missing fuel tanks and a fuel pump. And the power steering reservoir is also missing. The rest of that is all to do with the engine block. If we go up, not on the wheel, let's go up to the front here. We've also got a missing wishy-washy reservoir, coolant reservoir, brake servo, and the radiator. Maybe with a fan housing kit. I'm not 100% sure, but I will be honest. The suspension at the front here looks pretty complete. Can't see anything missing from up there. And as we had the wheels on down the back, pretty confident that that's all there as well. So I'm going to crack on, get all of this stuff here bought, get all of this stripped out, and get everything ready to go back on. When we come back, we'll start working on the beautiful GT40's stunning bodywork. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our beautiful GT40. But we need to sort this bodywork out. So let's just start stripping it off with that front clamshell and grab everything with it. Loving that. Out with the windshield there. We will re-grab this rear clamshell and grab everything with that as well. And I think that might be most of it. So let's just jump in and grab this interior out. Just the 2 seats. We don't have a steering wheel to go in this one at the moment. Unfortunately, we will get one a little bit later. But is that actually everything? 1% on there. And nothing showing up on there. That really was everything. What have we got? Frame at 16%. And I bought it for 19.5. What do we reckon? I think this is going to sell for well over 100,000, so I'm going to go 1250. 2,000 more than I anticipated in there, and I tried to go with something a little bit high. But let's check out the body shop. Obviously, nothing in the body tuning for the GT40, just the regular shop. There you are. And you've got the front and rear clamshells, both doors, some windows, some lights, some mirrors. That's it. Nice and easy one to put back together. So we need to crack on with ours. I'm going to get everything repaired that I can, replace what we have to, get some new interior, get this one all together, and then head over to the paint shop to check out that beautiful livery. Let's get this beautiful GT40 all back together and then into the paint shop. On with that beautiful front clamshell and the headlights in there. There we go. Did manage to replace the front clamshell. In with the windshield. We also managed to repair both of these wing mirrors, so on you go there. But we did have to buy shiny new doors to go in there as well, though. Rear clamshell, we did manage to repair that, but everything else to go together definitely needed to buy new. In we go, round with the other door. In you go there, and the last window, and that is literally the bodywork on the Ford Mustang? No, the Ford GT40. Almost said a mistake there. There we go. VM plates. We've got a BW for Benjamin Workshop and his GT40 on there. Looking absolutely beautiful on the license plate. And the last thing before we go in is we want to check out this beautiful interior for the GT40. There we go. Two lovely new seats, or a lovely new seat, and a beautiful new steering wheel on there. Let's get them into normal mode, into interior insertion mode. Just made that up. There we go. Beautiful looking seats in there. And then that GT40 steering wheel, which does look spectacular on there. Looking fantastic. Love this car. Have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. And let's get it into the paint shop. Get that beautiful livery on there. And see what else we're going to do with the beautiful Ford GT40. Here we are then in the paint shop with the beautiful GT40. Let's check out some of the liveries that come with it. We've obviously got these beautiful blue racing stripes, and the white body on there looks fantastic. I think this is probably what a lot of people thought I was going to go with, or something along these lines anyway. Slot number 2, we've got some lovely white racing stripes. Obviously on the black look pretty good. And then in slot number 3, we got black racing stripes. Obviously, they look good on the white as well. A very beautiful looking selection of liveries on there with the racing stripes. Loving them as always, but not what we're using today. We've got this one here from Benjamin Workshop. I say from Benjamin Workshop. French Toast made this beautiful looking livery. Is inspiration from Benjamin Workshop, who built this GT40 from scratch. So this is what we're going to go with today. I'm not sure I like the idea of the white underside, though. We could have it body matched in the yellow. Not sure, or we could just keep it all black, because we've got this black section at the back here anyway, keeping the black and wheel arch, keeping the underside and interior and the wheel arches in a beautiful black on there, which does kind of go. And then we can use plenty of yellow and a little bit of white on that engine, maybe a splash of red for some of the performance parts as well, just for some good measure. Let's get this on though. On you go, looking pretty good. And we're going to try and see what we can do with some colour on these seats. I don't want to do too much because they look very good. But if we could get some yellow in that metalwork, that would probably look fantastic. So we're going to give that a go. As regards to everything else, apart from maybe the steering wheel, we might try and get a bit of colour on that. We shall leave it as it is. You can't open these clamshells anyway. So to see what you've got going on, you have to take them completely off, removing the tail lights, windows and mirrors. Mirrors? No, license plates to go with it. So there we go. It is very black in there. But I think if we use the yellow and a bit of white on that engine, and maybe a bit of black as well, just for good measure, we can make this look absolutely awesome. So I'm going to crack on, getting everything painted, and then we're going to get this beautiful GT40 all back together, looking fantastic. That's everything painted, ready to go back on our beautiful looking GT40. Before we continue, this is a Volkswagen yellow. It is a rapeseed yellow is the colour it's meant to be. I'm not going to try and pronounce it in German because I will just ruin myself. But it is a beautiful looking colour. We did manage to get some yellow on the metal ring pieces on them seats. They've gone a bit more orangey because of the metallicness of it, I'm assuming. But we did also get some of that rapeseed yellow on the steering wheel. It looks fantastic on there. But let's get it up in the air. Let's start getting some of this suspension together. We got black shocks, rapeseed yellow springs, and black caps on there. It does look a bit more orange down here in the dark than yellow, but it is quite a dark yellow anyway. Front and back shocks are both exactly the same. Looking very good on there. Let's get underneath, though, start getting some of this together. We've not got much in here today. We'll start with the sway bar, which is in that rapeseed yellow, along with the steering rack. Then we've got the knuckle in a cheeky little black, with both the upper and lower suspension arms just in a white on there, blending in with some of the spot and number colours on the bodywork of this beautiful GT40. In we go. Let's get that shock in, looking beautiful. Then we've got the sway bar end link just in a cheeky little black down here, with the knuckle cover in white and the front wheel hub in a black. On you go. In with the bearing. Then we've got the brake disc, the brake pad. We've got a wheel hub just in that rapeseed yellow, and a black caliper on there, looking absolutely fantastic. I'm unsure as to why we can't put the wheel on. There we go. I've noticed it. Inner tie rod in a black, outer tie rod just in a cheeky little white. And there we go. That is that all finished at the front, or one side at least. Looking very good. Let's get down the back and let's start getting these in. The rear knuckle is in a black with both the upper and lower suspension arms in the white. It is almost, I think it is exactly the same as the front, or very, very close. There's a few bits that are a tiny little bit different. For example, we don't have the steering rack or the sway bar down here, but the shock looks very good. In you go. Then we've got that knuckle. Then we've got the wheel hub. On you go in there. Cheeky little bearing. We should have a drive shaft going through, but obviously we don't have the gearbox yet, so we can't do that. In with the brake disc. On with the brake pad, and then that lovely black brake caliper on there, finishing that one off. Not much of that yellow in the suspension, mostly black and white. Still looking very good, though. I was going to do the brake calipers in that yellow, but they did not want to go that colour at all, so we just left them as they were. I normally force chrome them, but it goes way too sort of bronzy, and I wasn't a big fan of it, so we left it as it was. Fuel pump in a cheeky little rapeseed yellow on there as well. Looking beautiful. Let's crack on, get all the rest of the suspension done, come back and sort out this beautiful engine bay before we go and build that wonderful Ford small block engine. There it is, all finished with the beautiful suspension. Now, obviously, in the original build by the wonderful Benjamin Workshop, I don't think the suspension was ever painted or anything like that to look like ours does, obviously. So I've taken some artistic liberties with this one and made it in a black, white, and a splash of that rapeseed yellow just for good measure. Looking absolutely fantastic. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you're down there, especially if you want to see more crazy builds like this. But let's get on. Let's sort out this engine bay. We've already got the fuse box in that rapeseed yellow, looking good. Then we've got the coolant reservoir, the brake servo, and the wishy-washy reservoir all down the front here. Then we've got this lovely radiator, which I have done in the force colored sort of color, which is that bronzy color, which is what I didn't want to do on the brake calipers, but it still looks pretty good. So in we go with that. And then we've got some force chrome fans with the black shroud on it, looking very, very nice. It is a bit bronze, but it still looks good nonetheless. And plus, you can see it just about, if I squeeze here, you can just about see them chrome fans just nip it out through the top of that dip, looking very good. We need to go down the back though. Need to select the engine and not the exhaust. There we go. In we go in there, and let's start getting some of this in. We've got the battery, we've got the power steering reservoir, and that is literally it for the engine bay. Obviously, we'll come back and sort that exhaust once we've got the rest of it all in a little bit later on. So now we need to go and build that beautiful small block engine. Let's get it sorted. I'll see you in a minute. Let's get into this beautiful small block engine then. You can already see we've got the engine block in a white, the oil pan in that rapeseed yellow, and the engine heads in a black there. A few long bolts, that's why I've left it out on this one today. Let's get started though. We do have some bits to go in here, but you can't start them until we get the camshaft in anyway. So we'll get you in. We'll also get the fuel filter in a cheeky little red up there. The ignition coil in as well. Plus we got a cam gear down here, and a cheeky timing chain on top of that with the timing cover on it as well in that beautiful rapeseed yellow. Looking lovely on there. On you go. And all bolted up. Can we get a few other bits in? The ignition distributor in a black with the red rotor, and then the rapeseed yellow cap on it with some lovely white clips on there. One on this side and one on this side. In you go. We nip down the bottom. We've got the oil filter, which is in the black and yellow, we'll call it on there. Power steering pump. Power steering pump. It's not a power steering pump at all. What is it? It is a power steering pump. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm losing my mind. We've got the little arm just in a cheeky little white up there with the alternator in a black and red. Looking pretty cool. sort of blending in with the reds on here a little bit. The water pump's in a cheeky white. On you go, looking very, very nice. Bolted all the way up. Then we've got the crankshaft pulley in a black, along with the water pump pulley also in a black on there. Nicely bolted up. And the belts, we can do the belts now. I'm liking this. The flow is very good on with both of them belts. Looking very good. Now on here, we've obviously got all of the spark plugs. So we're just going to quickly get all of these in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip up here. We're going to get all of this in. We've obviously got 8 valve push rods on either side. Then we've got 8 rocker arms on either side as well. It's one of these engines. So we need to get on and get all of these in. It takes a little while, as well as getting the other engine head on and all of the internal bits done there as well. So I'll crack on and do that, and I'll see you in a minute. There we go. That's all of the innards done. Let's crack on a little bit. We'll start with these head covers in that beautiful rapeseed yellow. Looking stunning. On you go there. If I can get all the bolts, waving my mouse around like a lunatic. In we go with the other side. Looking just as good. Loving that colour. It is absolutely beautiful. Then we've got the intake manifold, which is also in that rapeseed yellow up the middle. Looking lovely. On you go. Then we've got carburetors, 2-barrel side drafts. 4 of these. I've done them in a black. They look pretty fantastic. I did try to do them in the rapeseed yellow, but it came out too bronzy. And as we're not having any other bronzy sort of elements on the top side of this engine, I didn't want it like it. So we left them in the black, looking very good. And then these beautiful air trumpets on top. I did these in a white to sort of represent the white circles on the car for the numbers to go in. I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully it will look sweet when we get it dropped in. Obviously, we can only see through that little window at the back, so we'll deal with that for a minute, but we will take the clamshell. What is happening with me today? Take that clamshell off so we can get a good look at that engine inside the engine bay. Let's move on a little bit, though. Not much to go. We've got ignition wires. We've done them. They are officially in a matte red, by the way. But we've got a bit of shine on there just to keep it looking good with the other red pieces. And then these beautiful wraparound exhaust manifolds, which are stunning. We have kept in that lovely white colour on there. And I think it looks fantastic. I am incredibly pleased with this engine again. So let's get it all finished. There she is, the beautiful small block engine. Looking absolutely stunning. Let's grab some pictures. Let's get it dropped in the GT40 and see how good it looks. Time to get this beautiful looking engine dropped into our beautiful Ford GT40. Out we go. I've already taken the clamshell off so we can get a good look at how good this engine looks straight away. Let's get the crane put away. That's looking pretty special in there. Very pleased with that. I'm glad we did the engine bay, kept it all in black. Keeping that all looking good in there. Looking very nice. We've got a few bits to go in though. Obviously we can't do the gearbox yet, but we can get this rear muffler in. There we go, looking very nice on there. Let's get all of the coverings back on and get underneath and get this one all finished off. In you go there, in with the tail lights again, and then on with that rear license plate. Looking very nice in there. Let's get it up in the air though. Let's get it up in the air though. Don't know what happened there. And let's get in underneath and get that beautiful gearbox. In we go, ready to finish this one off. We've done the gearbox in that rapeseed yellow. It looks fantastic on there. On you go. Then we've got the 2 drive axles, which we have just kept in a cheeky little black, just to sort of keep the colour theme going in there. Looking nice. In you go. And then the last piece is that cheeky little starter, just in a lovely little black. Really finishing all that off. It looks fantastic. I'm incredibly pleased with it. Absolutely love this GT40. Thank you for asking me to do this French toast, because it looks absolutely fantastic. I love this car. We're going to get the windows tinted, liquids topped up, and some beautiful wheels done for this one. Now, we have obviously got the new GT40 wheels. We are going to be putting them on there. Or maybe, because I kind of want to go with something that looks like the rims from the original car that was built by Benjamin Workshop. So maybe. We shall see. I'm going to get all of that sorted. We'll get this one outside in the sun, and we'll see what I've ended up with. Well, there she is then, all finished, looking absolutely beautiful in this rapeseed yellow, black stripes and white dots on there. Also, that engine looking fantastic in rapeseed yellow, white and black. Can't really see it, can't open the clamshell, so we can't take a full look from here. But let's talk about these beautiful rims. Now, anyone who's seen the actual car from Benjamin Workshop will know that these are close to the rims he actually runs on them. They're not the same. We haven't gone for the GT40 rims. I will show you them in the shop. Beautiful set of rims for the GT40. Absolutely fantastic. But not what we're going with today. Obviously, we're going with these ones here. These are the rims 31A. These at the front are a 19-inch rim. We've got 285 width on them, 30 profile, but we also have ET of 30, bringing them out, filling in then wheel wells, looking pretty good on there. Down at the back, it's relatively similar. It's a 19-inch rim again, but it's 315 width, profile of 30, and an ET of 75 on there, bringing these rims out to close to where Benjamin Workshop had the wheels on his, basically. Almost sort of close. Not quite exact. Quite hard to match up based on images, but let's jump inside, check out this beautiful interior with that rapeseed yellow on the seats and on the steering wheel. I think it looks fantastic in here. Really do love this. But my favorite part about this one, let's get it started and hear that small block engine. Now that is a tick over. I absolutely love the sound of this engine. It is beautiful. Mean sounding when you give it some gas, and that tick over is just the best grumble in the actual world. I absolutely love it. Better than the turbo whistle, in my opinion. Just saying. One more time. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating will be. Here we are on the dyno with the beautiful Ford GT40 and its small block V8. 335 factory horsepower on this one. How much have we had today? And what will this beautiful Ford's drag rating be? Let's take a look. A gain of 260 horsepower, 78%. Maybe not the best, but we only started with 335, so not bad at all. Bringing us up to a total of 594 measured horsepower on our beautiful GT40. With a drag rating of pretty low, but not too bad. 595 from that V8 Ford small block. Loving that one. Should give us some interesting races on the drag strip. Can we win the final Ford drag tournament? We're on 3 out of 3 so far. Will the GT40 be able to keep up the good run of the Fords? Let's have a look at the gearbox tuning. There she is, a 2.9 ratio. We've got 94 kilometers an hour in first gear. I've added an extra gear up to 320 in that fifth gear. We've obviously got 4 carbs on this one, all fully tuned and ready to go. There is a short video ready for you if you are unsure on the best way to carb the tunes. I've sort of given my little tips and tricks guide, so go and find that one if you want to see that below. I'll try and include a link, but maybe not, because I tend to forget things like that. But anyway, let's get over to the drag strip and see what we can do with the beautiful Ford GT40. It's the GT40's turn on the drag strip. Let's get into it. King of the Sands, 1 mile A-class, as we are A595. Pay the 1,000 entry fee. And who have we got today? Our first race is against the Wayne-mobile, Batmobile, and that one is pretty good. Who else have we got in here? French Toast is in his actual car, the one that he built specifically for me, the VM exclusive edition. Loving that. That should be quite interesting, although we will end up facing off against him in the second race if we do make it through. But there we go. Who else have we got? My brother up there, just Sam, in the Jeep Cherokee race car edition, and also Country Thang in the Dom Toretto Dodge Charger. Struggling with saying certain words today, but never mind. We got a couple of other cars in there. McLaren F1, the Ken Block Ford Fiesta. First is off against the Rallycross Ford Fiesta as well. Let's get into our first race though. Can we beat Batman in his Batmobile? The diamond and gold Batmobile, looking absolutely stunning over there. Really do love that one. It looks beautiful. Another beautiful French Toast mod. It is in celebration of his birthday. It was his birthday on Friday. But if we haven't said happy birthday to him yet, say it in the comments below. Happy birthday, French Toast, for Friday. I know I said it on Friday. Anyway, but never mind. Batmobile against our beautiful GT40, designed and built originally by Benjamin Workshop, but obviously French Toast made delivery in celebration for his birthday. So let's get in and see if we can win our first race against the Batmobile. Off the line. Come on, little GT40. Into second, into third. Looks like we're winning at the moment. Definitely happy with that. Into fourth. We are probably going to need that fifth gear by the looks of this. We're accelerating quite quickly. There we go, into fifth gear. What will we end up with our top speed? What's going to be our quarter mile time? And hopefully we get a good 1 mile time on there. I'd like to be under 10 seconds. Let's get across the line. Let's find out. Across the finish line, what have we got? 10.223 to the quarter mile. Not quite under 10 seconds like I was hoping for, but still pretty good nonetheless. Then to the 1 mile, we got 26.185 seconds with a top speed of 304 kilometers an hour, and we absolutely destroyed the Batmobile up to the 1 mile. Almost 4 seconds on there, which is definitely pretty good, and the top speed was just way apart there as well. So let's get back. Let's see who we've got next. Sadly, French Toast didn't quite make it through, but the two McLaren F1s did. You got the normal McLaren F1 and the LM McLaren F1, which we will face off if we make it through against the Ken Block Ford Fiesta, which is definitely someone we race against quite often there. My brother's still in the Jeep Cherokee race car, along with Country Thang in Dom Toretto's Charger. We've got another Jeep race car, another Ford Fiesta up there as well. So let's get into it. Can we beat the Ken Block Ford Fiesta? It's Ford versus Ford again, and we love it. We got the Ken Block Ford Fiesta looking absolutely beautiful over there. Always love seeing that car. It is a beautiful looking car. Against the beautiful Ford GT40, looking absolutely stunning. Can we beat it? Let's get in. Let's go. Off the line. Come on, GT40. Into second. Into third. Where's the Fiesta? Kind of with us, but we are pulling away. Definitely happy about that. Hopefully it will stay that way until the end of the race, and we can get 4 for 4 wins for the Fords in the drag tournaments. Let's keep going. Where is that Ford? Nowhere near us at the moment by the looks of it. Let's get across the line, though. Let's see if this is better or worse than our first run. There we go, across the line. What have we got? 10.276. Not quite as good as our first run. Not far off, though. 26.253 to the 1 mile. Also not as good as our first run. But the top speed, 304 kilometers an hour, exactly the same. And it was a lot closer than I feel like I thought it was. We did get beaten out by speed in the end there by the Ford Fiesta, but we just about managed to steal it in the time there, both in the quarter of a mile and 1 mile. So it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But let's get back. Let's see who's next. Well, my brother knocked out Country Thang, but is against another Jeep Cherokee race car edition, which is quite ironic, liking that in there. It does mean we definitely can't have a Ford v Ford final anymore. This was our last chance at that. But we've still got to get through the McLaren F1 first. Hopefully we can do it. Fingers crossed. Let's get in. Let's find out. Now, in terms of history, that is an epic starting lineup. You've got the beautiful and historic and classic and legendary McLaren F1 versus the beautiful, historic, classic and legendary Ford GT40. Who's going to take this one? The McLaren has beaten us many a times before. Hopefully we can keep on the winning luck with this one. Let's go. Oh, across the line, into second, into third. Where's that McLaren? Yeah, I thought this might be the case. I think this one might just keep pulling away from us, which is a bit of a shame, which has knocked the luck off of the Ford. But there we go. It is what it is. I'm not that bothered. This Ford GT40 has been absolutely beautiful. I've 100% enjoyed this one today. It is a shame we lost, but we did lose to the McLaren F1. There we go. So we are out, but what is the times on this beautiful Ford GT40? The final run, a 10.352, our actual worst run of the day. But even with our best one, we wouldn't have beat the McLaren to the quarter of a mile there with a 10.223. 26.310 to the 1 mile. We wouldn't have beat the McLaren again. Our best one was a 26.185. We honestly didn't have a chance against the McLaren F1. Top speed the same, though, at 304 kilometers an hour. Let's get back. Let's find out who's going to win at this tournament. Will it be my brother? Will he have even made it through? And is he going to beat the McLaren F1 in that Jeep Cherokee race car edition? Well, there we have it. It is my brother in the Jeep Cherokee race car against the McLaren F1. Who's going to take that one? We're only going to take a small amount of winnings going out in the semi-final. Can't think of how it works there. In the semi-final, which does leave us with a bit of profit of 1,250. But let's see who can win this tournament. My brother in the Jeep Cherokee race car against the McLaren F1. Who's going to take it? It is my brother. Congratulations, Just Sam. You have won, I believe, your first drag tournament. You would have got a lot of winnings for that. Sadly, we didn't quite get that much. Only technically 1,250 profit from our trip to the drag strip. Let's get back to the garage, find out how much this Ford GT40 is worth, and will we make the profit I believe this car definitely deserves. Well, there we are, all finished with the beautiful Ford GT40. Not the quickest on the drag strip, but still very good nonetheless. We managed to get 10.223 to the quarter of a mile, 26.185 to the 1 mile, with a top speed of 305 kilometers an hour from this beautiful Ford GT40, pitting at 46th out of 59 on the Speederboard. Not too bad at all, if I do say so. And this is a very, very beautiful car. Absolutely love it. Benjamin Workshop did a fantastic job creating it in the first place. French Toast has done a fantastic job recreating it here. But let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for 19,503 at the beginning of this episode and could have sold it for a profit of 181. And we obviously didn't do that. We spent a further 64,261 upgrading and modifying and tuning this beautiful car to how you see it here today, including that fantastic engine there, putting our total spend to 83,764. Will we be able to make a profit from this beautiful Ford GT40? I certainly hope so. There is only one way to find out, though. Let's get in. Let's take a look. Well, there she is, all 100% complete, looking absolutely fantastic. That engine ramped up from 335 factory horsepower to 594, a 78% power increase. Absolutely incredible. We spent 83,764. Can we make a profit? With a sale of 204,713, we most certainly can. That's a lot of profit on there. That is 120,949 profit. Plus our drag strip winnings, they were a little lower, only 1,250 today, but it's still extra money, paying our total profit from the GT40 at 122,199 from this absolutely beautiful, beautiful car. Benjamin Workshop, the original creator of this. I will include a link to his channel in the description below, and a beautiful work, French Toast, recreating this livery. What do you all think of my subtle details? Bit of adding on the seats and steering wheel there. Lots of colouring in that suspension and engine. Just finishing this one off, in my honest opinion. But it is time to say goodbye to the beautiful GT40. Off you go. Definitely a lot of profit in there, but thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed that. And that is the last of the Ford DLC. Now, what have we got up next? Well, it is going to be my competition entry. So we have got the beautiful Mitsubishi Eclipse sat up here ready to go. This one is obviously my creation. You can see how low this beast is to the ground. It is incredibly, incredibly low. Let's have a look. Let's get into the door. There we go. It is the Virtual Mechanic Mitsubishi Eclipse, as we said. We bought it from the auction house to the bad auction house, and it's not too bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. I've seen worse. It's got just under 150,000 kilometers on it. And the engine in this one, I swapped it out. This has got the LS, beautiful LS swapped engine in there with 511 factory horsepower. I'm hoping to get this one tuned up to around 1,000 horsepower. We shall see. It is still front wheel drive, so this could be quite interesting. Did I get a good deal on this one? I did indeed. 32,322 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 35,142. Making a profit of 2,820 before we even begin, and we do always like that one. I am going to be making a livery for this one. I haven't quite finished it yet, so we'll see how that one turns out in the next episode. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. But that is it for today's video. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We are over 1,000 now, so thank you all so very, very much. But it is always nice to get more. Don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, let us know future builds that you think we should do on the channel. Always love to hear your ideas. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.